No audio, facile. I'm kidding. Hello. Okay. I hear now. Okay. Let's do
Okay,
a
now you
check.
can hear me. I was saying, welcome back to Code with Italians. It wouldn't be our stream if things worked right off the gate. Welcome back. I don't remember how it works. It's been a long time.
Yeah, so welcome to the first episode.
I mean, for what I
Code with
remember,
Italians.
it could have as well be.
So I told you. I was like, it took me 10 seconds to remember. What do we use for this? Oh yeah, Skype. Ivan, you need to run Skype for this.
Well, that's
I was
why
like,
I have
okay.
Skype installed on my
So
computer.
Yeah, I was wondering. Why Skype? Why Skype? And that's Ivan. You have a stream on Twitch. That's what you do. Yeah, thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. That reminds me, I shall do the same.
Yeah. So today, while Sebastiano is supporting the stream, because you can subscribe, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free to our channel every month and support us so we can print and send around stickers like this. And by the way, I'm gonna send the sticker that we have in the backlog probably later this week. So hang in there if you want a sticker pack in the last few weeks. Just bear with me for a second. And they are coming. They are coming because, well, summer is over and now we are back to business. And yeah, welcome, Sebastiano. So who is the guy or the person?
I don't think we've ever seen this person before. I don't think.
Roberto, how are you doing? Welcome back.
Hey, hello. Thanks for having me. It's always fun to be here. I'm already laughing to tears, so I'm not able to actually speak. But I guess that's the goal of the stream, right?
Not making you speak. That's why we invite
Exactly.
you. And that makes no sense.
Why not? I already speak too much, so it makes sense.
That is
to
true.
balance
That
things.
is true.
But if I remember correctly, in your latest video for the AndroidDev large screen people, there was no talking, Roberto, right? There was no talking. So you can speak today. So about that. So do we have a topic, or you would just have Roberto hanging around?
A bit of both.
A bit of both. Okay, fair enough.
So we have a couple of things that we want to talk about, but
Yes.
also I don't really remember how this works, as I mentioned. So we might find that we don't have stuff to talk about at some point. I think we have enough, but just in case, we'll figure it out. We can just talk about anything. And as usual, folks, if you have questions and you think Roberto has the answers to them, now is a good time to ask them.
Yes. And you can just ask in the chat. I want to remember that we are very happy that we were able. What team does Roberto work on? Really? Trolls. They never stop. Yes, he's really, yes. It's in Google. He works at Google. So the one thing that I want to say, thank you to DroidCon Italia and DroidCon London for giving us the tickets online and in person that we were able to raffle. Is it raffle?
Yeah,
Raffle last month. So we have.
Was it already last month?
A game. Yeah,
sorry, I just had a sudden epiphany that it's already September.
Yeah, no, the year is over. That's. I mean, it's probably now. It's DroidCon Italy, DroidCon London, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Boom, done. Yeah. That's it. It's over. It's already done. So I'm very happy that as last year, Sebastiano and me and the rest of the audience and the people in the chat on Telegram will meet again, and we will meet people at DroidCon that saved money on the ticket because they won our ticket. And I have very, very, very fond memories of last year at DroidCon Italy and Turin, because people actually approach that and say, "Oh, I'm here because I won the ticket from Code with Italians." So
Yes.
that's good karma.
And if you approach us in Turin or London, we will have swag for you. So do approach us.
Oh yeah.
As usual,
yes.
we have a bunch of stuff and we'll bring it, but we don't want to bring it back. So help us.
Yeah, we have too many stickers. So if you haven't ever won stickers during a live stream and you don't want to buy them, and you are lucky enough to come to DroidCon London or Italy, just approach us. You can probably get away with few stickers. Back to the Roberto situation.
The Roberto situation.
Yeah, the Roberto situation. So, Roberto, how are you doing?
Yes. I'm doing fine, thank you. What about you?
I'm very fine. I'm very excited because I moved to another project and I'm for the first time starting looking at health and fitness, and health and fitness is very close to Wear OS. And when I think about Wear OS, I think about Danielo because he's a huge fan and expert of smartwatches. But I also think about you because that's the fucking opposite of what you do. That's a very tiny screen.
Nice
and
segue.
Roberto,
nice segue.
And Roberto, yeah, I mean that's what I do. That's what I do. And Roberto is always. But I mean, it will surprise you how much documentation I'm going through that also mention large screens.
Okay.
No, well, no. It would be a bit awkward to just see the name on developerandroid.com and you're like,
Dude,
okay.
Half of the documentation you're reading probably was written by Roberto, so he might have, hidden his initials around the text. It's like, they're never gonna find it. But if you look at the first letter of every sentence, it says Roberto rules.
Exactly.
If you select it, and then you invert the colors, and then you just move a bit over, and then you look at the screen like this, you see Roberto rules. Like
actually, there is an ASCII art of my face. That's how it works.
Da Vinci Code. If you run the example for foldable, you see the ASCII art in Logcat.
I feel like we need like a Roberto Rules t-shirt or something.
Why not? Oh, by the way, this is the new t-shirt that we are testing. So stay tuned because new things are coming. You also saw the pillow a few weeks ago that I shared on Twitter. We are playing with a few new things. So getting ready for conference season. And stay tuned.
So,
now back to
besides Roberto Rules.
Wasn't that the topic of today's stream?
I think it was. Actually, let me change it.
Okay.
So, the Vinci Code 2023, yes. So, let's take a step back. For the people that are watching us for the first time on Twitch or on YouTube, Roberto, what do you do?
Okay, I'm a developer relations engineer in the Android team, and I actually work on large screen topics. That means basically foldables and tablets. So I probably have one answer to questions related to this topic, and most probably is 42. And that will solve every possible question ever.
Fair enough. And 42 is also the size of in inches of the screen, that Android TV screen that you should be using when you say large screen, Roberto, because a tablet is not
larger
large.
Screen.
TV is large. That's so fucking large, super large.
That's definitely larger. My team also takes care of Android TV, but I don't really work on Android TV. I'm more focused on apps that work on, let's say, handhelds. Yeah, that's more of it. Yeah.
So everything tablets and everything foldable now. So
Yes.
how are the things on foldable? Is the thing getting momentum? Asking for
an hypothetical friend.
No. I'm more into the it's the community is getting. Do you have any number that you can share very bluntly?
Not necessarily related to foldables.
It's already
related to
legal calling. Sorry,
The text from legal is like, shut the fuck up.
It's just the emoji. The emoji, the emoji.
We need another emoji like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not really aware of numbers about foldables. But I can say that probably for tablets, last time I checked, it was around 200 million devices. I should check again because I don't really tell this number often, but it's definitely increasing.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, but the one thing that I notice is actually the Play Store now is showing a bit more data when you check for installations and devices in general. There is a bit more granularity when you look at what kind of device. It's usually was like phones and tablet, but now there are also information about foldables. So that's also interesting. And yeah, I mean, I have a tablet, and even I was using it for development when we were working with Joseph for the body coach. Send huge love to the body coach team. But now it basically has a very thick blue rubber cover, screen protector, and it runs Masha and the Bear and Coco Melon for like 24H. I think Roberto and Mike probably in the chat, they can relate. Yeah, it's basically like a YouTube Kids like device. It's like a kiosk basically. It only runs YouTube Kids.
Yep, I definitely can relate. I have my younger kid home in these days, and it's literally a Cocomelon party the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's possible that I keep on seeing the same thing. I'm like, aren't you tired of this? Like, this is all new. Like,
no. But they're making money, so I'm happy, and they're making content, and the baby enjoys. And also, probably they make sense for tablets.
I am very happy that I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a kid, you know what? If you have a kid and if you don't have kids, you look at parents that they have tablets for their kids, and you're like, no, I will never allow my kids to actually watch cartoons.
And then you need to survive, I guess.
And then you get a baby, right? And then like, okay, but
how much are tablets? I need 5.
Yeah. There are tablets as Alexa, Echo, in every room that just to throw cartoons on there. But again, I mean, it's a life or death situation where you need that kind of stuff. So I'm always happy to see tablet optimized apps, things like YouTube Kids. I didn't even know that it was a thing. So if you install YouTube, if you have installed YouTube and you start running cartoons all the time, at some point they suggest you that you get a banner and say, do you want to? Yeah, because if you remember, when we upload things to YouTube, they ask you, is it for kids?
Mm-hmm.
So if you specify this is for kids, then the whole YouTube Kids machinery kicks in. Okay, so if you run like a cartoon on YouTube on a tablet, you get a banner that says, do you want to try YouTube for kids? And it's another YouTube app, has a simpler UI that actually I like. I like a lot because you know how it is, right? When
you're a simple man.
Yeah, but you also like boomer and toddler. You know, the Venn diagram is actually a very, very the intersection is like serious, and and that's a specifically tailored UX for kids and for tablet because YouTube, right? So that's interesting.
So
I tend to agree with that.
when
It helps a
we're
lot.
when we're talking about apps optimized for large screens, we are talking about a number of different things, I guess. One of them is that, for example, I have an app that when I open it on my foldable, first of all, it takes up the whole screen instead of being, you know, a vertical.
Letterboxed.
Yeah, instead of being this. So
Okay,
not
yeah.
shaming anyone in particular. They're unfortunately not alone. But there are a number of apps that are, even to me, like surprisingly good in that they have a tablet layout, and there might be apps that are like run by small teams, small developers. They might be open source, whatever. And then there's a lot of apps that are letterbox. They're like fixed to portrait. So obviously, when you're running them on a landscape screen that is not a phone, it has to make do. But is that something that happens? Like, do you get the letterboxes just because you set the you override configuration changes and set the app to portrait, or is there other stuff?
No, actually, there are multiple ways in which you can get letterboxed. So first of all, there are two different kind of compatibility mode. There is letterboxing and there is the screen compatibility mode. The difference between the two is that the screen compatibility mode is the one that has the little restart button, so you can restart the application, and it will.
Let me.
Well, so if you don't see the button, that's letterboxing.
This, you can kind of, yeah, it should focus, but it doesn't. But yeah, you can see it like down here. It's just this button here. That is a restart button.
So, and that means that that's in screen compatibility mode. Of course, screen orientation is one of the issues, because if you say, for instance, you mentioned your pixel fold, in that specific case, when it unfolds in landscape. So if you actually set the orientation to portrait, that's what you get. Another thing is the fact that your activity might not be set as resizable. So you basically added the resizable activity flag to false in your manifest. Other two things that actually will influence the fact that your app will go into compatibility mode are the minimum and maximum aspect ratio. So if you expect your app to work for a specific aspect ratio, that's where you're gonna get screen compatibility mode.
Out of curiosity, how many apps are setting the aspect ratio? Because I know that thing exists, but until you mention it now, it's been years since I last heard of that.
Personally, I think I only found very few. I think that the most common issues are definitely the resizable activity, and most of all the screen orientation. I think that one related issue with the screen orientation is the fact that there is state loss probably implied. So if you don't lock the orientation, the app loses the state, or even worse, actually it crashes. So you can see the compatibility mode as a symptom of a different issue. So usually what I suggest, when somebody approaches me and asks me why this happens, the first thing I ask is if the app is actually orientation locked. If it's locked, then I ask what happens if you try to unlock it. If the response is, well, the app resets, like, yep, that's already good. I mean, not good, but better than crashing. So there are probably other issues there. One solution that you can apply, though, which you can find in the large screen cookbook on d.android.com, is the fact that you can actually lock the orientation on smaller screens and unlock it on larger devices, so that you don't have your app locked when you are on a tablet or on a foldable, but it's still orientation locked when you are on a phone. It might make sense for very specific scenarios where you have a very tailored design, and making it landscape on a smaller form factor would actually not work right out of the box. So that's another solution that you can apply.
But that's the common scenario that I found myself in over the years, right? I mean, we locked in portrait, yeah, guilty, whatever. Okay, so we locked it in portrait as
whatever.
Yeah, no, but because it was, you know, at some point you are like in a corner because you don't have a landscape layout, and you know things maybe are a bit shaky from dependency injection or app startup kind of view, and it happens that if you lock it in portrait, it kinda, you know, stabilize it a bit, and if you unlock it, yeah, the app looks ugly, and then you forgot about some weird race condition with the dependency injection, and now you are in a state where you don't have a dependency anymore, and you know, and you weren't checking for the absence of this thing because, well, it can never happen, right? Because you know it's always there, it's gonna be always there, and you know, surprise, it isn't, right? Because now you know things get restarted because you rotate the screen.
But
I remember. Please,
yep.
please.
So actually, there are workarounds around that. So with the latest versions of Android, the behavior that will trigger an activity recreation is actually slightly more complicated. In fact, I and Alex, a colleague of mine, talked about it at DroidCon San Francisco and DroidCon Berlin. It's a fully fledged talk on why the activity is recreated when it changed, when its size changed. But there are workarounds about that.
Do we have a link? Is it already
I'm finding it
online somewhere?
I am finding it.
Fantastic.
Don't worry.
And basically, one thing that you can do is overriding the configuration changed in your activity, and define the kind of configurations that you support. So you can limit, let's say, in very low detail, that you can decrease the amount of time in which your activity is recreated. Another thing that usually happens is the fact that your state, the state of the app is not stored in a place that will survive the activity recreation. For instance,
fair enough.
The easiest solution that I always suggest is use a view model. That's exactly why it was built. It will help you, and it will be fairly easy to implement it with any dependency injection framework or anything like that, and it will help you quite a lot. Also, other issues that you might encounter is the fact that you, as you mentioned, don't have layouts. One thing that is important to mention is that we don't necessarily need a tablet optimized layout. We have, as I probably said the other time, we have 3 different levels of support for large screen, and tablet layout is in the optimization. So it's okay if you start by not having a tablet layout. The important part, in my opinion, is that your app uses all the space that you have on the screen, which might be all or just a part, because of course, multi-window comes into place. So you may, well, you actually just need to use all the screen that is available to you. And I know this might sound scary because state restoration has always been tricky on Android, but I think that lately it's become much, much easier. So if we want to make another stickers, I would say use view model. That could be a good one.
We need like
View
Roberto
models.
Orgiu view model.
Yeah, view models save lives. Things like that. I mean, it's gonna be the case. But I agree that we worked. We launched a couple of tiny pet projects over the summer, and we have tablet support because Daniela was very fond of. I want this thing to. I mean, I want to make Roberto proud. So that was the idea, right?
There was also someone that was very loudly complaining.
Okay. Let's say that we want to make Roberto happy about the layout, and the thing that we end up doing, because we don't have a designer and we only have somebody that sporadically harasses us about how ugly are our apps, that luckily for us is not part of the team, but is the external QA UX QA contributor. We ended up just playing around with margins, right? So you just have a tablet that is the content, and then you just shrink it a bit, not too much. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we had lost you for a second. I think it was too big.
Oh, no.
The screen was too big.
Too big. The big was too big, and we just used some margin, and it's not like the Instagram PS, right? That you just have the Instagram, the phone version in with black bars, but it's also something that is nice to see on a tablet, even if it's not super optimized for tablet, right? So it shows that there is a bit of effort in it.
Yeah. So one suggestion that I usually give in this situation is to start by the lowest hanging fruits. I don't really have an idea of what apps you're talking about at the moment, so I can't really give you an educated opinion. But usually margins and navigation are the two easy things to fix. For instance, let's say that you have a bottom navigation for your app, which is, I suppose, pretty common. One way is when you are on a larger surface is to move that to a nav rail or a navigation drawer. I would suggest the nav rail for the reason that it's quite easy to move from a bottom navigation bar to a nav rail, because they both use the same items and you don't really need to change that much. So that will do the trick. And
I guess also on a large screen, you have the room on the side to show those things. Yeah. And also it's kind of more awkward to have edge gestures on a larger screen because it's big and you have to, maybe you're holding it with your hand and you need to go all the way to swipe.
Exactly. That's, that's one thing. And also when you hold the tablet, you hold it, say, in this way. So you see your thumbs are right at the edge. So where you...
I hope that's a device that has been already released, Roberto.
Yeah. Yes, don't worry.
I really hope that.
Yes, don't worry. I was a Pixel tablet. It was just with a cover because again, I have kids. So even if I leave it,
You never know where you find it.
no, well, the problem is that they tend to try and drop my devices. So
Do they try or do they succeed? Oh, maybe someone from work might be listening. Let's say they try.
That's a very uncomfortable question to answer, but let's say that the success ratio is usually higher than I would expect.
Well, I guess that says that they're, solid build.
Yes.
I mean, it's a durability test.
Kid resistant.
Yeah. Is it kid resistant? Yeah.
Kind of the rig thing channels. So.
Yeah.
But with kids.
By the way, I just wanted to show people what the compatibility mode looks like. Well, this is the size.
Yep.
Hey, Felipe. So this thing down here is, oh look, I get the hover effect with the mouse. That's cool. I didn't know that worked. That's
nice. Basically.
I'm confused, Sebastian. Are you just running the mirroring just to show the device?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the thing is built-in in Studio now. Works very well. But yeah, so you get this thing that normally when you click it shows a dialog that says, oh, we can restart the screen so it takes up the whole room instead of a bit of it. And if you do it, now I don't do it, but you see now it goes all the way from the top to the bottom.
Can you do it back again?
No. Probably. Need to open. Yeah, now it's unfolded. So it's open and I get the button down at the bottom. And now, yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
That was just a quick demo.
Love it.
Very quick. But yeah, that's how screen compatibility works.
Roberto, if you want to check the app that I was talking about, I just put a link in the chat, and we have screenshots on Play Store. So just to give you an idea what kind of tablet support with it.
Let me open it as well so we can share the screen with people. Okay, there you go.
So you see that we didn't do much, but kinda.
At least you don't have the text field that goes all the way to the edge, right?
Yeah, that was the first iteration. Of course, the top bar is still like full width. I don't know even if it makes sense or whatever, but the idea is that, especially if you go on the story page, Sebastian, there is gonna be probably the next screenshot.
It says screenshot image 6 in the middle.
Is it loading or something?
No, it might have been
okay. So, something like that, right? So you have the and there is also a screenshot for portrait to give you an idea how it looks on tablet, to prove you that we are not locking it in landscape on tablet. So I mean, it's not like a huge design effort, but it works, right? It's enough.
Yeah, well, one thing that that you can do to improve the design a bit more could be to move the two icons to the side so that they are more reachable, and move the button to be more close to the other edge.
Are you talking about this screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and for what concerns the story itself, this is quite complicated to optimize more because I mean, it's a huge wall of text, so there is not much that I would personally be doing. I mean, margins looks fine. It's not hard to keep track of what line you're reading. So that's already quite good.
But,
probably rather
but
than
I like the suggestion about the top bar, right? So you want us to move the top bar actions to like a drawer kind of thing, like a how do you call it? Rail
Navrail,
something?
yes.
Navrail on the side.
Navrail?
Here?
Yep, that's
Okay.
Navrail on the side. Mostly because they are quite out of reach on a big display. So that's it. But there are a few things that I noticed that you could actually check to make sure that they work. Those are not necessarily things related to large screens, but they're related to basically every device, which is what happens when you connect an external keyboard, for instance.
I have no idea, Roberto. What should happen? I mean, you have a mouse pointer, and then you have a keyboard that you can do like tap, tap, tap.
Well, that's the second step. The first step is that if you didn't declare the keyboard and keyboard hidden flags in the configuration changes in your manifest, most probably the activity will start when you plug or unplug an hardware keyboard. So that would be the first thing to check. And also, yes, keyboard navigation would be really helpful. Imagine that you might be running these on a Chromebook and you don't want to touch. You don't want to touch the screen in any way because you are as boomer as I am, and your laptop screen is something that nobody should ever touch. So you actually might want tab navigation there. Another thing that you could check is what happens when you scroll a little bit on the story page and you rotate the device. If the
scroll position stays.
Exactly, yes. Those are the two things. And apart from that, I guess that those will be very close to be optimized.
I would imagine this app is in Compose, right? It's done in Compose, right, Ivan?
Yeah, sure. Yes, of course it's Compose. Yes. So I blanked for a second because
like, what's the alternative? React Native?
I was like, I was like, what the fuck is asking? I mean, yes, it's in Compose, Sebastiano. You got me there for a second. I thought you were trolling. I was like, what?
No. I was asking because I guess that it might make some of those things easier if you're using Compose. I mean,
definitely.
It makes everything easier, but those things specifically.
Yes.
But now I'm thinking about the top bar to Navrail, because I think we used the Navrail for the first Compose for Desktop project that we had, Sebastian, right? There was like a Navrail.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember that the UI UX was okay. Was nice, actually.
I mean, on desktop it's a bit questionable, but I guess a Navrail kind of looks like a toolbar. So if you squint hard enough, then it's okay. Like icons on the side, I can deal with that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, going back to doing things the easy way, while yes, definitely Compose makes it much easier. Retaining the scroll position of, I suppose that's a list of text. It's actually doable also on a recycler view. Different approach, but it's doable. Actually,
you need to sacrifice a goat to some deity, or
you will be surprised.
Or you could go to the large screen cookbook and check if we actually have something about that.
But do we have a link for this cookbook, Sebastian? Because he is selling it so hard.
Yes, we do have it. I just need to copy paste it.
Okay.
So
I'm adding it to the episode notes, and you will find it also in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube.
There you go. Put it in the chat.
Thank you.
So, well, actually, if you scroll down, there is a way to keep the state of the recycler view and
This is a
items.
very polite way of saying that it doesn't work.
No, well,
1 star.
does.
I'm sure it's fine for someone.
It does.
Jesus Christ.
It helps. Well, at some point you have to start somewhere. So
Yeah, fair enough.
so yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
I totally forgot what I was saying.
State management, I guess.
So yeah. So there are 2 steps.
The cookbook.
There are 2 steps here. One is using the state restoration policy and the recycle view, and then again the view model, my favorite tool to solve state problems.
We need the sticker, man. We need the sticker.
My face and then a heart and the view model. That will be the best. So yeah. So Ivan, you mentioned that there was another pet project, or that was the couple of pet projects that you wanted to.
So no, this is the. I think the other one has. I don't know how we stand with the other one. Let me check. I don't think we. Yeah, we have we have the least amount of effort tablet support in the award for 2023. And Sebastiano, I think you can show a couple of screenshots.
Yeah,
and
I'm
they
just doing that.
They are a bit cringy, but okay. I mean, why?
Oh wow.
Yep.
It belongs.
Actually, I don't think this is an updated screenshot, to be honest, because I think Daniele did some work on that. I need to check.
Is it?
But
on...
yeah, we.
No, I was thinking if I can like create a tablet device and install it, but
don't
not worth
go
it.
there.
Okay, fine.
No, don't go there. I'm probably gonna check. But yeah, we didn't. So but something that we did. If you go on the next screenshot, I think there is like a tablet version of the list where we have a grid instead of a column. Yeah, this is oh, Jesus Christ. I need to look at this stuff. Oh man, this is so bad. Plus, those are old background, old wallpapers. We have way cooler now. And yeah, so again, it's not an easy task to do it properly, especially when you move from the first, as you mentioned, low-hanging fruit, and you don't have a designer. But I think that
there's a lot of things in there that are, yeah, that can cause the like complications, let's say.
Yeah, because I mean it's not easy. It's not easy, and you always have very little time if it's a pet project, and you want to ship things, and you want to validate an idea, and the lucky part is that you are in charge of everything when you build something like this by yourself. If you do it for work, there are other challenges, like we don't have an iPad version, so screw you with your layout for tablet. So that's also a conversation that unfortunately I had in the past, right? So they read the numbers. There were very few iPads, and they couldn't spare any designer hour to build like a semi-tablet layout. And then you need to take the responsibility of doing it on Android by yourself. And if something goes wrong or people start complaining, that's your responsibility. So I get it's a hard sell.
Yes. I hear that. I think that the problem that we might be facing is it's complicated. So one thing that you can do is, again, going for the low-hanging fruit, because let's take a step back. We said that we have 3 layers of compatibility for large screens, but when you think about it, the first thing you think is, I want it tablet optimized, but that's already halfway. That's not the low-hanging fruit. You're going full in there. And if you don't have buy-in from the rest of your team, it's going to be much more complicated. If you instead go, let's say, back one level, it's not really back, but let's say like that, and you just go to the large screen readiness, that's a whole other level, because what you will do for being large screen ready is basically not being letterboxed, not crash, and everything works. So we are not looking for massive design changes there. We are not looking for design changes at all for the readiness. But once you have an app that already works on a tablet or on a larger screen, because again, it's not only tablets, it's foldable, it's computers. So there's a lot of possibilities there. But if you go for readiness, if you don't have buy-in, it's going to be quite easy, because that's all basically developer effort. You don't need any design. You just need to make things work. Basically just work.
Yeah, from a technical point of view.
Exactly. And if you think about it, most of the things are more related to how a good app should behave, because if you lock your screen, for instance, for design point of view, it's one thing. If you lock your screen because the app otherwise will crash, that's a whole other issue.
Yeah, that's a symptom. That you should fix the fact that it crashed. Sebastian, the thing that you are showing, I think you are showing it, right?
Yeah.
This is the one that you show in Duolingo, right? The button at the bottom that basically stretches the app.
Yeah, and then you get the dialogue here. You can see, like, restart for a better
Start
view.
for a better view. And this is done automatically in a sense that if you have things like, I'm simplifying, things like full width, rough content kind of situation, you just take up all the screen estate that you have.
Yep.
And that's it, right? It just gets a bit bigger. The card gets a bit bigger.
Exactly. That will be basically okay for readiness.
Yeah.
So the important part for being large screen ready, it's that the app works end to end. You should not have any how can I say, any hiccups. To go even in further details, there are a lot of tools that will actually help you in many ways. For instance, let's say that you have that you implemented your bedtime stories app as a list detail rather than 2 different paths. Okay, so you tap on something, you get its detail.
Yeah.
Based on what you on what technology you used, there are samples and technologies that will actually help you do that in a very easy way for all the screen size. For instance, you said that that you use Compose. Perfect. We have a sample that will help you there. You have views and fragments. So basically, you have a single activity. The first interface is a fragment. The second one is a fragment or views. Well, you have sliding pane layout. Another approach, there are 2 different activities. Good. there is activity embedding for there. So there are tools that will help you achieve these in a way easier way. But again, if you think if the issue is we don't have X to get to the tablet optimized version, nobody actually tells you that you have to go there directly. There are steps to make. And with every step, your app improves. So again, getting out of letterboxing or size compatibility mode, or holding the state correctly, not resetting when you have when you connect an hardware keyboard. By the way, you can do that in multiple ways. The easiest one would be just plug in a USB keyboard that will do the trick. And those are all things that you actually can do as a developer. So you don't really need any design there. And those are all things that actually could work on every device. So that's what we mean with large screen ready. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I mean, yes, and I feel like it's not stressed enough, right? Because it's as you say,
Roberto doesn't do his job.
Shut up! It's not what I mean. But Roberto has a point when he says like the popular understanding is large screen. Oh yeah, I don't have a tablet layout. I cannot do that because I don't have a tablet layout. When he's actually his point is that's the last thing. I mean, that's the cherry on top. You have like a shit ton of stuff that you can do before that. But then I think people are not aware. What I mean is there is not enough awareness about that's the last thing, right? There is a lot of stuff that you can do before. And yeah, it's a marketing issue, Roberto. You have a marketing issue here. Like it's a marketing problem.
It's not that easy because of course
I bet.
Because of course large screen ready is the low-hanging fruit, but you would always see an app that is optimized and the user experience is different. So of course I would always prefer an app which is optimized. I'm not even talking about differentiation. That's a super complicated word to pronounce because that's again is a whole new level, a whole new word, and there are a lot of things that that you need to achieve before you can go in that direction. But again, if you think about the optimization, it actually kind of makes sense that we think more about that, because just think about the navigation. If you have the navigation on the bottom, most probably your app is not large screen optimized, and you feel it. Moving the navigation to the side is again a low-hanging fruit. Again, that means that you already have done everything before, so that's already another thing. But you feel the app is way more polished. Among the other things, though, that can make your app quite better is, for instance, managing your media playback in an easy way. What I mean with an easy way, when you are on, for instance, YouTube on your computer, and you are focused on the YouTube window, when you press the spacebar, the playback pauses. You press pause again, and it resumes. It should do the same on any device. If you have a keyboard attached, that's it. I press pause, and it should pause. I press space. It should pause. That doesn't involve a designer.
Fancy. That's fancy.
But that's actually also easy to do.
Yeah, but for me, I will never think about that, right? Because for me, the idea of attaching a US keyboard to my kid's tablet, it's a bit stretched, right? Because a tablet, again, my use case is that I'm touching it, right? Because I don't use a Chromebook, or I don't have any more I don't know, like a touch screen laptop-ish, something that it can be touchable, but it also comes with a keyboard, right? So I don't have that experience in my daily tablet usage.
Yep, I see your point. A thing to mention is that a lot of higher hand tablets, so we are probably not talking about the same tiers of tablets, come with a keyboard. So that's already one thing. But also, the vast majority of tablets I personally saw actually might have a third-party case with a keyboard, because they are all Bluetooth enabled. So after all, it's
sense.
a matter of adding, like literally sticking a keyboard on a cover, on a case. Thank you, and that would actually give you a keyboard. But even without going that far, imagine that you want to. Well, probably we are not the right example, but let's say that we need to write a blog post, and we don't want to go all the way to our desk where our computer is probably connected with 270 million cables. So you don't want to unplug everything. You just want to stay on the couch. So you grab your tablet and you're like, yeah, I can type it, but I'm really a person that uses an hardware keyboard. That's it.
Yeah.
You connect a keyboard, and that's your use case in that case. So I know it's a stretch, because probably for us is a bit more complicated, but I think that can be done quite easily. And if your app actually supports keyboard, your users will actually feel the difference, because they will naturally navigate with tab and shift tab, use pause, the spacebar to pause. So
if I'm using something with a keyboard, I'm definitely hitting tab to navigate. There is no way around that. So much muscle memory that there is no way around. And yeah, I agree with you. If I don't have it in the app that I'm using, the instant reaction is like, And then if you say that it's not even that hard, I'm even like, it's even more like 1 star. But that's the right thing to do. You go there. There's no keyboard support. The app is okay, but there is no keyboard support. 1 star.
I have to say, I have to come clean. As a user, I agree 100%. As a developer, I had no idea how to implement that stuff.
Well,
I don't know.
Fun fact, I don't want to stress it, but I will. If you actually go to the cookbook, there is actually a part about that.
Of course there is.
Show me the cookbook, Sebastiano. Look at this thing. There he goes. So
where is it?
How did you come up with the cookbook sections? So did you check Stack Overflow for things that people couldn't do? No, but because that's one strategy that I'm implementing lately. I go to Stack Overflow and say, okay, people can not do that. Let's write some documentation about that. Is it something that you do?
That's definitely a good approach. On my case, I tend to group and write things that I encounter the most as, let's say, issues when I check apps. So we work as a team on this page, and when we find something that is recurring, like for instance, the app orientation restricted on phones, but not on other devices, that's something that we see pretty often. So like, yep, probably there are a lot of users that could benefit about it. Same thing about web view and Resac review and media playback. So mostly it's, again, that is the same approach that you're taking, just probably from a different platform, but it's the same. People are asking about these,
Cool.
and there is room for improvement. So why not?
Okay, this does seem fairly easy, to be honest. And
It is
I see it's the
preview?
same API that we're using on the Compose desktop project I'm working on. I didn't know they existed in the Android version as well.
So what do you have? Do you have a column? I assume that's the container of the.
Yeah, you can put it at the screen level. I guess if you put it like at a lower level, then it depends where the focus is.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, I would
so
suggest.
Let's say I wrap everything.
Yeah, well, you don't really need to wrap it. You already actually have a root composable. In this specific scenario, if you have just the media playing on the screen, let's say full screen, like a movie or YouTube video or anything, you could add it to the root composable.
And
that will.
Okay, so you add it where it makes sense. Let's say the scope makes sense.
Yeah.
And then what you do?
But also, for example, if you have like a screen that has a like mostly text editor, but also has some other, components around it, you might still want to have a very top level interceptor for commands such as, make the text bold or something like that. Because even if the text isn't focused, Control B is meant to make the text bold.
Yeah.
Or like that means zoom out or things like that.
Exactly. Yeah, and those things are actually pretty easy, both on Views and Compose, because you have a very similar API, and you could actually implement all the shortcuts. That's something that we suggest for optimization as well, because it makes sense exactly for the use case that Seb mentioned. So,
what's the difference between the key preview and the the normal key? There were like two of them on the snippet that you showed on the previous screen. There was. You don't have to answer. I think it's preview event, especially event first. Okay.
So basically, it's the navigation.
So if you use on preview key event and you don't handle the event, then it passes it down. If you use on key event and you don't handle it, it passes it up. So to your parent instead of your child.
That's something that I usually have to look up, because I never remember which goes in which direction.
My mental model is that the events go down, and preview means that I see it before the child, which would be the next one to see it.
Yep.
And the other one is the other one.
Let's
not look too much into it. It's just like a mental model.
That's the only way. That's the only way to think about it. It's the one that kind of barely makes sense, and then the other.
As long as you remember, that's the important part. And then it doesn't doesn't matter if it's wrong, which is probably.
So
walk me to the spacebar example that you below, or I think it's below. So the thing that you were checking is like, if I press and release a key, and the key was a space bar, you stop back. That was the idea, right?
Yep. Basically, yes.
So basically, the type is up because I release the key.
Yes.
So I assume there is also, if I keep pressing it, if it's down, you can do the push to talk, for instance, that you have on Google Meet, right?
Yep.
If I keep pushing the space bar, it unlocks unmute the microphone. But this is cool.
Yeah, you would use the key up rather than the key down, because the key up can actually fire only once when you release the button, and the key down might fire multiple times based on how long you keep the button pressed. So in this specific case,
so for example, if you keep a letter pressed, it will write the letter multiple times.
Exactly.
I see.
So,
That makes
and
sense.
that goes the same for spacebar. After a timeout, it will trigger again. And if you do that on key down and you keep the
Doing it.
you keep the spacebar pressed, it will actually trigger multiple times.
So you would
Yeah,
like
you get that
play, pause,
flow.
play, pause, play, pause, play, pause.
Yep.
Maybe that's what you
And
want.
yep, your player would be
Yeah.
so happy about it.
I'm sure they would.
Nice. Okay. This is cool. Today I learned.
That's why
So,
we do
yeah.
this, even. That's why we do
that's
this.
that's
That's fairly
how I-
easy. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, not to brag, but I was learning this stuff as well.
Fair
Right
enough.
now, I mean.
but that,
So, but
that's
so, can you? I guess it's the same thing if you have like menu items that have a keyboard shortcut associated with it. You know, on desktop it's easy because what all applications do is just show the action label and then the shortcut next to it. But is there the same thing for menus on Android? Does it like show shortcuts?
I have to say that I don't touch menus from quite a lot of time. I'm talking about
Same.
years. I think there could be something,
Mhm.
but I'm not 100% sure. Because again, I'm not really using menus nowadays.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah, I was mostly thinking about, up bar overflow or the
yeah,
up bar actions that might have an associated keyboard shortcut.
yep, for sure. The first thing I would think is that a shortcut should be discoverable. So definitely there are in XML, but I think that there is actually something in
Yeah.
Compose as well. I mean, if you can do that with well,
This is
that's
Studio.
that looks like
I
Studio.
should have seen that it was saying Studio. I
Probably.
didn't know we're indexing Samsung
Oh
developers here.
yeah, there menu. Yeah, it says it mentioned the shortcut key. Yeah.
So if I
this shortcut key.
Yep.
Oh, so it looks up for the window.
That
sounds like API level 1. I was gonna say that sounds very old stuff.
Yeah. But that must be something else because
it might be somewhere in like compat something Android X. Whatever.
Probably in the definition of the item. Because it will make sense.
Might be yeah.
Because it makes sense. Probably try in the public method section in one of the add, because probably in one of the add you have an override that actually will tell you.
So add, I guess this one. Specific flags. No. But maybe you can change it later. So if you have a menu item, it gets you a menu item, and then on the menu item, maybe you can set it.
Yeah, I would say so because I remember that there was something. I just don't remember how that works.
I'm sorry. I as usual, I started us on a rabbit hole.
That's shortcut.
Yeah. So yeah, it's on the menu item.
I mean, if it's like I'm playing too much Baldur's Gate because it felt like, okay, Sebastiano is going, Roberto is following, I'm the fucking one with the torch because I don't have dark vision, right? And there's no chance that we're gonna survive this. So
as usual.
Yes, let's go. Oh man. Anyway, set shortcut.
I guess if you set a shortcut, if it like actually shows like in the tooltip or something, well, I guess we can figure it out.
Yeah,
why not finding out now?
Why don't you just file like an Android Studio? Are you familiar with Android Studio, Sebastiano?
I've heard of it. I've heard that it does
Like
things, but
it's like VS Code but better.
it doesn't take much. Um,
Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno.
I have to
They're
see.
gonna just flag the video because I I sang.
Yeah, why did you do that? You fool. No, it must be in the main screen, I guess.
So walk me through it,
Yeah.
Sebastiano. What are you doing?
So I'm trying to find where, because I don't remember anything about this app. I'm trying to figure out where the scaffold is, so I can find where the settings action is.
Look at
But I suspect it might not actually be a menu item, but it might be like a compose thing. But then I want to see if the compose thing has, a way
sure.
to. Oh, this is deprecated.
Yeah.
Oops.
That
Can I say that it took us 1 hour 15 minutes, but we ended up coding because we are such nerds. I was like, he has Android Studio open just for mirroring a phone. Okay, let's play it cool. Let's play it cool.
Oh yeah, try there.
There you go.
There's an oh no, probably below. Here in the icon.
It's only used in the actions thing, but I would be surprised. Well, I wouldn't be surprised, but
does it accept a modifier?
Yes. I mean,
then I would suppose that it will work in the same way.
Yeah, so you would have modifier dot preview
on preview key
event, and you would put stuff in there. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, probably
with
the modifier.
This for sure is not going to show like on the tooltip for this. Because how would it know, right?
Yeah, I mean, probably there is a way to do it. Not really.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, probably just put it in the content description, call it a day, and be like, yeah, I'm done. I also just had the question of, does it, like, if you have an up bar, a top up bar, and you like long press on the action, does it show the tooltip or not? I have no idea.
It should.
So
I would imagine yes, but
it should.
So if you have a top bar up and you have an action and you long press on the action and there is nobody there to see you, are you really pressing on the action? That's the question, Sebastian. Was it really a long press? Was it really a long press?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So now what we are trying to do? So is it building just for the sake of it? We expect something. Oh, by the way, can you make it here, Sebastian?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's why, because I'm watching this on my phone.
So yeah, there's the thing is now you have a handy zoom thing here, so you don't need to change everything anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, that's new in Iguana, I think.
Okay.
But you can just, blop, or even blop, even bigger, biggerer. Oh, there's something that is a bit fucked.
There is a line 192.
It's fine. There's no bugs.
It though?
It's not my fault.
No. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, am I having a stroke or there is something?
No. It has some clearly some issues with the inline hints.
Ah, yeah, fair enough. Well, that's.
But that would be an IntelliJ bug, so it's not my problem.
It's wow. Oh, by the way,
I had someone asking me, like, opening a bug for the editor, and I was like, I have no idea how that works.
And I can point you to the people, but stop bothering me. Just for the sake of it, because it's driving me nuts. Can you see why the composable thingy is deprecated, please? Line 188, 191.
Yes, I can. But it is not particularly helpful.
Wait. Migrate.
To AndroidDev Navigation Compose, Nav Graph Builder.
That's an easy
composable
one.
with the same parameters. Change the import from.
Why
doesn't it have a replace with? Why doesn't it have a replace with?
Probably because
Sebastian.
they are. That's on the composable. Probably it will say that on the import. I don't know.
So I need to change from this.
Yeah, to
this. Oops.
Nice one. Replace all.
I mean, it was one, so it wasn't that much all to replace, but yeah.
Maybe we have it everywhere. So replacing files, Sebastian.
So I did replace it, but obviously there's
another one.
Sure.
That was easy.
You see?
Improvements, Sebastian.
Too much text.
Why doesn't it show? I mean, that's annoying.
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, you probably just can look to the company's one and replace with the AndroidDev one.
Yeah, sounds likely. So like this one, which it doesn't seem to like too much. Because I need to. So you see, a replace with would have worked.
Yep.
Yes.
Question. We have a question in the chat, Sebastiano.
Go for it.
Does bundle actually block existing notifications? I have it installed, but I still get all the notifications.
Why did you install it?
Yeah, did we ever finish the app?
No, we didn't. I don't even know if it works. I think it theoretically should, but does it?
Well, I mean, plus, is it 34 compatible? I mean,
now as of today it is. I have to say something. This afternoon, like half an hour before the stream, I was like, oh fuck, if I want to run the app, I need to update everything. And then I went through everything. It was like update, and it worked first try. I have no idea how it happened.
Okay, that's you got saved. Oh man, I love it. Congratulations, Sebastiano, for updating a bunch of libraries without pain.
Does it work now? I don't know. There was a to-do for detect 117. We're at 123 something, so maybe it's fixed.
It should be fixed now.
And if it isn't,
use snack bars once they're available to you.
I have no idea what this means.
Why don't we have?
I should go and check that recording.
Yeah. I mean, look at the 100.
But then again,
1 to 8. I mean, this is what we do. 1 to 8. Dull accept duration millis. Yes.
Yeah, this is what happens when you give Mark the ability to name things.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I believe there is a way to use snack bars in Compose. Probably.
I guess the problem was that in here you would have to do something like pass up, and I'm sure that I wrote this code when I still didn't know how Compose worked.
Yeah, I mean, for snack bar are one of those Compose things that are not immediately, pleasant, because there's a bit of machinery, right? You need to.
It is a bit complex.
You need a snack bar host, and then you have a coroutine launch to show the snack bar, and you're like, what the hell is going on here? So probably the toast was the quickest, and the toast plus the comment, it made it future proof.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bit of model shift, because I mean it makes sense on for how Compose works. Because if you think about the fact that everything is state-based, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But coming from a view world, it's definitely a shift on the way you think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because in the old days, you just threw a snack bar the same way you threw a toast, right? And I was like, oh, I just need the context. Fuck it, right? And
Yeah, this
just
might
show
have
a
been
snack
me
bar.
just being incredibly lazy.
Well, I mean, I don't think you were lazy. Probably we were short on time, to be fair, because we always
Lazy.
are. Lazy. I mean, if it's like you are talking, I'm talking with David Goggins, like, you're a lazy son of a lazy motherfucker. No, Sebastiano, we are just short on time. Stay hard. Sebastian. Oh man. So what are you doing?
See.
You are running the app just for the sake of answering
I want
the
to see if
question.
yes.
Oh, by the way, we need to rename a variable or something.
Yeah, well, we would no. You see, it doesn't. Aha!
What?
It doesn't show a tooltip. How do you show tooltip? I mean, I kind of know how to do it in Compose Desktop, but I'm quite sure it's different in Jetpack Compose.
Probably you can do in the same way you do with the space bar, like with the on key event. Probably.
Medium. These are weird. Okay. Oh, they're in material 3 now. Okay.
Are we already on material 3? Do you know I'm struggling?
Yeah.
I have a couple of apps that I built with the previous material. Migrating to 3, not that immediate. Not painless as I would expect.
You mean from material 2 to material 3?
It's not just about the import. A couple of things, they renamed the properties. It's not like
yeah. Well, I mean, they're very different. The two things are very, very different.
Yeah, and then you're using something like primary variant, and then you're like there is no secondary on whatever on the other side, and then you're like, what do I use here?
You need to trigger the tooltip from the modifier, I guess.
Tooltip trigger. Ooh, fancy.
Fancy schmancy.
Okay, how comes it?
Tooltip trigger. There is no tooltip
they might
trigger.
Have tooltip anchor. Yeah.
Where are you? Tooltip anchor.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Try to run the app again. It makes sense because you anchor the tooltip to the icon, so it makes sense.
And if it works, it will say a very true thing. If it doesn't work, it would also say something. No, I don't know.
So
yay! It works.
It's actually cool.
Yeah.
So how do you do it? You just play
just this.
So this is the composable.
Yeah.
That you attach.
You pass the state, the
you
shape,
wrap it around
colors.
The thing that you want. Okay.
That seems easy to use.
So, yep.
Okay.
And the other one is
with a button
click on a button click.
Okay. And then the rich tooltip box. What's
Do you have a screenshot of the rich one?
I'm just
there you
go.
Above.
Right.
Oh, nice.
That is very fancy.
You can actually do some nice onboarding with this.
Definitely, yes.
I learned something. It's more. We learn. We are smarter in the head.
Jesus Cristo. Sebastiano, can you trigger the tooltip like programmatically without the user interacting with the button? just because I'm thinking about like an onboarding situation, right? That
Probably you need to use the other one though.
Sorry, what did you want from me? I was totally not listening.
So if I can trigger the tooltip programmatically, so I don't want the user to click the button and show. I want to show the.
It was saying something like that you need the state something.
No code.
You probably need you probably also need a coroutine context to launch it.
Fair enough.
Let's do
remember. Oh, by the way, it's approaching 4 November.
Is it?
So
wait, there was something like
wait,
tooltip on a button click. Remember playing
tooltip remember.
Yep. Remember playing tooltip state.
Okay. He wants to spam people with tooltips. Yes, he does.
Yes.
Uninstall even apps before they start spamming you with tooltips everywhere.
It's an onboarding, Sebastiano. I'm telling them. You know, I built do you remember I built an app that we were using Glance because we had Marcel over and I was like, I want a widget in my app. And I realized that people are not using the widget as much as I would expect because they don't know about the fucking widget. And I was like, that's a discoverability issue. And then I realized there's no way. They will never know that there is a widget because they don't know into the widget menu and so, there is events app. So now, I'm building an onboarding and this could be nice. Because at the moment, I'm just showing a snack bar. It's the lamest onboarding ever. But this looks nicer.
Probably, Seb, you just need to do equal without the mutable state off. You're not changing it.
Fair enough. Yeah. So that would be that I have the scope, and now let's say I need to launch. That would be somewhere like you do like this.
Yeah, there is the show, the same one that you had.
Yeah, you might want a side effect or something like that you can.
Yeah. I mean, this wouldn't work because the launch is a suspend function.
Yeah.
But you would have something like var show tooltip because even wants to onboard you.
It sounded way better in your mind.
No, it was meant to sound terrible. Don't worry.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh man.
Yes, and yes. Perfect. And now I would have a button, but I don't have any button anywhere. But yeah, what you would do, I guess, is just
wait. Just delay 3 seconds.
A launch effect, and then that would be the
unit.
No, because you want to change it. You want to do it when this changes, right?
I always use unit. I don't know.
Yeah, but the point is that the launch effect will be launched every time that the key changes. So in this case, you don't need the scope anymore because you already have it there.
Well, launch, yeah.
But you would do this.
True. Where you have the show now.
Well, you don't need that. You don't really need that anymore, really.
Yeah, you just need to do show.
Yes.
Tooltip state show. So
it would be that, but also you probably want to have like if
a delay. Okay.
Yeah. If this is true, then you show it. Else state dot dismiss, and this.
How do you change this?
You set it from a button or something. Like you would have a button.
Okay.
That has on click, and the on click sets the show flag like this.
Sure.
And Yeah, probably the thing you want to do here is a dismiss, but
probably I would dismiss that with a delay rather than doing that in the.
Yeah, but you would put like, I don't know, 1 second, and then state dismiss, something like that. That would work.
Yep, that would remove the.
Oh, I like the 1.seconds.
Yeah, that's a Kotlin X time API. It's very nice.
Nice, nice. I always use 1,000.
It's like days, hours.
Ah, it's a duration. Ah, okay.
It's very useful.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep,
definitely for the comprehensibility.
Yeah.
Well, you're telling me that saying 1,000 is not as.
When I want to do fancy, I do 1_000 because that's the maximum fanciness that I can do.
Better.
much better.
But yeah, the next dev is gonna love you.
You can also do something like
Sebastiano, what kind of disorder? I mean, what kind of? I mean, yeah, Mark Ellison is actually voicing my struggle that I have.
There you go.
Keep it quiet. I'm keeping it. I have been keeping it quiet for like 10 minutes now. That thing is just giving me so much borderline OCD. And I was like, why is not fixing it? And there is also a line. There is a yellow warning. Why is not fixing it?
There you go.
Sure. Yeah, sure. It's better now. Pretty sure. Oh man, it's so bad.
I was too caught up in the hours, seconds, milliseconds thing.
Oh, by the way, I don't think it's building because of the mess that you are.
No, it just needs to be formatted and it will be fine.
Ah, okay. Anyway,
that will stay for 1 minute.
Can we check if this?
Yeah, it's 1 minute. It's just to make it clear.
So you really see it.
Okay, the tooltip stays.
It's important.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Can you finish the button and try to run this?
Oh, I was going to delete it.
Why? No, we want to see if it works now.
Yeah, I want to see if it works.
You'll find in the next episode of
of messing around with Roberto. Okay.
So Ivan Rocks shows Roberto rules.
Wow, that's some team spirit there.
That's so magic.
So I think what I need to do is I need to make this a row because otherwise it will look like shit.
Crumble. Sebastiano, you can use the wrap with widget.
Yeah, but I'm lazy.
Well, I'm lazier. That's why I do the expand region, Alt Enter, wrap with.
I mean, it's fine for this. Let's see.
Doing too much Flutter lately.
Oh yeah, you fucking need that in Flutter.
Too many widgets. It always disturbs me the small amount of RAM that you are running Android Studio.
4 megs?
It's like
4 gigs. It's fine. It's fine.
Man, it makes me so anxious.
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, I'm just
5 gigs.
5G. 5G. Wow.
That's gonna give you radiation basically.
Yeah, wait, I can do better.
No, don't. Yes.
Oh, what?
My God. The speed up is gonna be crazy. Yeah,
Why?
That's and by the way, there is still the equal true. Okay, no,
that is not anymore.
No, it's not there.
Okay, let's see if it works.
It does.
So even rocks. Click.
I think it's still in the delay.
Watch out.
I suspect that the show doesn't keep it on screen indefinitely. It only shows it for like whatever.
Oh yeah, it's persistent false.
Was there a persistent flag anywhere?
Yes, there.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I know, but is there a way to not? So if I see where this is used,
you need to pass through.
Oh, I need to set is persistent. How do I do that?
You pass it through.
I think
you pass it through and you pass the state.
No, but this is the rich tooltip state. I think the poor tooltip state doesn't have that.
the peasant.
Yeah, it doesn't have it. It's always false.
No, false.
No.
No, you can't override it.
No, it's just not there. I would need to use the other tooltip.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's a bummer.
So I don't need to. I cannot use my fancy time mats.
Yeah, I mean that's.
There you
Roberto
go.
Yay!
And basically, is what's the?
I know you changed it.
Huh?
You changed it.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I forgot to do one thing. Well, I don't need to do any of this. So I don't need to do the else. And I just need to set the flag.
Yeah, you need to reset the state. Yeah.
No.
Wow, Sebastiano, why are you doing this? I mean, you are messing with my. It's 8 in the evening, for fuck's sake. This thing is disturbing it. And, Anyway, is it working?
I don't know.
Oh my. Fun fact. I was having a conversation.
Yeah, it works.
If you write a when on a Boolean, and you do true, not true, is gonna still complain that you need a false. So the compiler can't actually figure out that every branch is complete. That was one of those interesting Kotlin edge cases.
I broke Kotlin.
Ivan, why?
Yeah, no. It was a question
did you
from
know
a student. No, it was a question from a student. It was like, what if I do true and not true? Is it gonna be exhaustive? And I was like, I don't know. Let's try out. And the compiler actually started yelling at me. The thing is that they ask you for false, okay, to make it. So you will basically have 2 false branches, but the first one is the one that always matches, because the when is going through, the first one that matches is gonna be the one. So if you do Alt Enter, now if you do
this works,
yeah, if you do not true, it's gonna complain. The when is not exhaustive anymore. So if you do Alt Enter again, the remaining branches that it suggests is the false, right? No, on the when. Trying on the when. Yeah.
Yes.
So now basically you have 2 false.
It's probably worth a bug report to which they will probably answer, why the fuck are you using a when instead of an if for a Boolean?
No. But because we were.
I understand this is like a what if, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't exist because of that.
My hypothesis is that the compiler is actually not evaluating the condition per se, but in case of a Boolean, and I think it's the same for enum and seal classes, is actually looking at the keyword.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
You know what? It's fun. Nobody would ever think about doing not true. So the compiler isn't complaining about, it's not telling me in a warning that this can be simplified. It's just saying it's always false. It's not saying like you don't need to do that. But I have no quick fix, because that's too stupid for someone to think about that, apparently.
Yeah, imagine creating the ticket in JetBrains on uTrack. I actually fixed add the quick fix for not true always being false. Yeah, I was like, okay,
You get
wait,
someone
wait.
telling you with a strong Russian accent, that's stupid.
Yes, probably. But over Slack, right? So you
Yeah.
read the
But
Russian
you can
accent.
just, yeah, you know that.
You know that it's a Russian accent. Anyway, I think we are good to wrap this up, Sebastian.
Yes, we are definitely
We-
over time.
But we had a lot of fun.
Yes.
I love this stuff, man. How did we end up on tooltips? By the way, I need to watch the recording because I can't
Because
remember.
I wanted to know if it did long press thing works.
Okay.
I didn't, so we implemented
Sure.
it. And we all learned something.
Yep,
Definitely.
definitely. And the fun fact is that all of these started with keyboard navigation and shortcuts.
I mean,
Yeah.
somewhat related.
On
Definitely.
tablets with keyboards.
Yes.
Yes, he's breaking me, man. Anyway, I just want to thank you, everybody, for being with us today on our live stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for the support. You can find all the links that we had during the episode in the description. There are also plenty of other links, our Telegram chat, our shop, and the coffee page where you can become a subscriber. You can buy stickers. You can find stickers at conferences if you are joining us at DroidCon London and DroidCon Italy. And you can subscribe for free on Twitch if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, because if you connect your Amazon Prime to your Amazon gaming account and then to your Twitch account, you can leverage the fact that Uncle Bezos is giving away 1 month subscription every month to your favorite channel. So just check it out, and thank you for the support.
So we're gonna see you next week. We have our friend Chris Cinco. He's gonna be back, and he's gonna be one of those episodes where Ivan has questions and he gets people to work for him for free.
People, high performance, high profile Googler working for me. I mean, you are selling me
This
short.
whole streaming thing is just a ruse.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for consultants. So that's the thing, right? I hate freelancers. Okay, so jokes aside, it's gonna be an interesting episode about one of my weak points, that is nice things, or how to make apps better looking and more, more UI UX performant. Yeah. So
we're gonna be looking at
Sebastian
one of
and
your
Chris.
apps, right?
Oh wait. Yeah, sure. Why not?
I think. I mean, the question started from there, so I assumed.
Fair enough. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, they all are ugly, so we can pick one like a random one.
Turns out even has many ugly apps.
Yes. Yes. Oh man.
Okay, so see you all on the Discord, maybe? You? Yes. See you on the Discord. Well, I don't remember how we did this. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you, Roberto, for coming. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you for having me. Ciao.